What's up, everybody? Chris Jacobs here with another episode of OPTIMA Battery's High Performance House Calls. Today we're heading out to Kentucky, Warsaw, Kentucky, to go see the guys at Sullivan Pulling. Donnie Sullivan and his dad Wayne are going to talk to me about the projects in their very cool garage. Let's give them a FaceTime, see what they're up to.
Hey Chris, thanks for calling.
Donnie, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too. So start out by telling me where you guys are and how you've been spending this time during quarantine.
Well, we're here in our shop at Sullivan Pulling in Warsaw, Kentucky, and we've got everything ready to go. We compete on the Sullivan Pro Pulling League with the OPTIMA Batteries Kentuckian and the Big Ed Red two-wheel drive, and we've had several events canceled, so we just been double checking things and rebuilding motors, and we're all dressed up right now and not really any place to go, to be honest.
When was the last event that you competed in?
We ran at the National Farm Machinery Show in Louisville, Kentucky in February.
It's now almost mid-June, so you guys must be getting really antsy to get back out there on the track.
Right, yeah, we're supposed to go here at the end of June out in Missouri to Mound City, Missouri with the two-wheel drive trucks. They don't have the big tractor out there, but it's going to be good to get to go somewhere.
Is it looking like that event is going to be a go?
As of yesterday, yes, sir. From what I can count, we're down to half a dozen hooks or so for the season.
Wow, man, that's a shame. So take me through, because I'm kind of a novice pulling fan. I don't know a whole lot about it, but what's the history of your involvement in the sport? I know it's a generational thing for the Sullivan family.
Yeah, we've been in pulling over 50 years. We've pulled for quite a few years. I'll let my dad talk to you a little bit. He's Wayne Sullivan, and he drives the OPTIMA Batteries Kentuckian.
Hey Wayne, how you doing, man?
Glad to meet you, Chris. Yes.
Good to meet you too.
You talking about the sport of pulling? Yeah, I started back in the early '70s with a single motor tractor. It had about 450, 500 horsepower. I just put a big block Chevy on a farm tractor frame and went out and pulled. But now this new thing is 4-engine, about 10,000 horsepower, and we spin our tires about 120 mile an hour, and it is quite a ride. I've talked to some buddies that's drag racing, and they say these four motors is 10,000 horsepower. Is pretty close to a AA fuel dragster.
Well, Wayne, I think the main difference, you're talking about similar horsepower between your pulling truck and a top fuel dragster, is that the engines in the pulling are in front of you, whereas in a top fuel dragster, it's behind you. So you're really getting the full force of those engines.
Yes, you're right. I had one catch on fire, blew a head gases, and my fire suit and all my equipment worked great. And yes, it is. That is a different part. Yeah, we got four motors right in front of us, and the noise level is awful great. I mean, we have to wear earplugs and helmet, and still, I can't hear very good today, but because I've been doing it so long.
It's harkening back to the old cackle car days of drag racing with those engines in front of you. That's really that is definitely a man's man who gets in the pilot seat of that vehicle. That's really cool. So Wayne, take me back to the origins of Sullivan Pulling. How did you get the idea to start participating?
My dad pulled farm tractors for years, and so I knew about pulling. And when they started letting the engines, the modifieds run with different engines in them, we had to build one with a V8 in it. And one of the great unique things about our tractor, we have four motors, and I still run the same grill that I had in my first tractor, 44 hairs, and it's up front there. And that's about the only thing on this rig. It's a tractor. It's got tractor tires on it, but they're made especially for pulling. You can't put a regular tractor tire on there, because when you spin them that fast, they'll break down, and so we got to have a special tire made just to stand the power and the speed. And yeah, and this past year was a great, unique year. I won the championship with Lucas, and my grandson won a truck championship. I don't know if anybody's ever did that. One family win two championships, so that was a great, unique year for me and my whole family and my team.
That's great. Well, hey, can you show me around the shop and some of the trucks and engines you're working on right now?
Yeah, I'll let Donnie do it, and I'll just walk around and watch. Here he is.
Thanks, Wayne.
All right, Chris. There's the tractor engines right there, the 4.
So what are you running there? Take me through the specs of those 4 blocks.
They're running Brad Anderson billet blocks, and we run the Ken Vinny cylinder heads, and we run SSI superchargers and the MSD mags. If you look at the sport of multi-engine tractors, they're all set up different. Like we got all 4 of our injector hats are facing forward, but if you notice, these back 2 engines are running reverse because our gearbox is in the middle of the tractor here. Each engine has its own clutch, and it goes into this gearbox and then goes back to the rear end. And we don't have a transmission just like a top fuel dragster. You know, it's whatever gear we got the rear end in at that time, it's gas and go.
I see your OPTIMA battery there in front of one of the rear wheels. Do you run one battery for the entire vehicle?
Actually, we run one battery to run our computer and so forth, but we have to have 4 batteries to start it on our UTV and our pit vehicle.
So you actually start the truck off the pit vehicle, and then once it's running, then there's no battery on.
Right. Yes, and the driver's compartment's back here, and we got a data acquisition system to tell us what it's doing, and then you know, if you see the drive line comes right back here into we have a reverser, you know, in and out box basically to go forward or backwards.
And what's amazing too is that you actually get all 4 of those engines off the ground. I mean, there's so much torque in those rear wheels that all 4 of those blocks are coming off the ground during a pull.
The art of pulling is you have to transfer the weight to the back tires. You want to be able to pick the front end up of the vehicle to transfer all your power to the back, but there's a fine line there. You can't get too high because you'll lose your drawbar height and it'll start porpoising. And
that's kind of what you're looking for, right? You're looking for that balance, and you're looking for that kind of perfect distribution of weight for the entire pull.
Yes, that's key. I mean, our tractors, you know, we won the national championship this year, but we're not necessarily the most powerful tractor. We have efficient horsepower, but we can make laps with the best of them.
Now, a lot of races go by time. Some races go head to head. In the tractor pulling world, distance is what wins, right?
It's all about the distance. You know, the speed matters because if you don't have enough speed, you're not going to go that far enough distance. But you know, it's all about a measured distance in tractor pulling. And most of the time in today's pulling, it's one shot and you're done. Here's our 2-wheel drive truck that my son campaigns.
Your dad Wayne was talking a little bit earlier about winning the championship both in the tractor pull and the modified truck division. That's the winning truck right there?
That's it right there. It's unique. Our family's been in the sport of pulling as long as anybody. And probably active right now, nobody's been in it as long as we have. I don't know if we're proud of that, but it's a testament to a lot of time and effort.
Tell me about the power supply you have under the hood in that.
All of our engines are the Brad Anderson block with the Ken Vinny cylinder heads, and all of our engines we run SSI superchargers and MSD mags. This truck here is named after my uncle. He was been in the 2-wheel drive class since it started, and we were lucky enough to gather up. This is his last truck that he ever pulled, and he passed away way too early on us. And he was a great puller and great man, and we just named it after him, Big Ed Red. So it was really neat for us to be able to do well with his old truck. Now, there's not much, the only thing the same is the body, but it's still Big Ed Red.
Well, just like your dad's tractor has the grill from the original truck on it, that's a great way to honor Big Ed, and rest in peace, Big Ed. And I'm sure he's looking down very proudly, seeing you guys are still using his truck at pulls. That's really cool.
Here's something else we got in the shop. This is my son's girlfriend's. I don't know if you've seen these. It's a different class. It's a mini rod, they call it. And they got the same engines as the trucks and the big tractor, except this thing only weighs 2,000 pounds with the driver. And this class is, we've just dabbled in it for the last year helping them. And it stays here in our shop, and my son does a lot of work on it. And it's a neat deal. And then we got this project going on here. We're kind of a glutton for punishment. We're working on another truck right now, and my son's working on the clutch, getting ready to set the engine in it, and we'll have it out sometime. We're not going to run for a championship with it. It's something we wanted to have to be able to run around here local. It will run in the same class with Big Ed Red when we're done, but we got a lot of people that help us, and we want to give them an opportunity to get in a seat to drive, and something like this will be good for our team.
Now, Donnie, you mentioned getting out and running around locally. Are you in an area where you can just drive right by your house and do some pulls?
Not exactly. We don't have a test track or anything. There's a few that compete that do have test tracks, but for the most part in pulling, there's no testing. You get your stuff together, and you better have things right when you show up. Hey,
Donnie, last question for you. Talk a little bit about your relationship with OPTIMA batteries and what a great sponsor they are for you guys.
OPTIMA has been great for us. They've been with us for 3 years now on our tractor, and they support the two-wheel drive class for Lucas. I mean, they're the title sponsor that we compete for on that. The tractor is so unique in motorsports that even if you don't like tractor pulling and you come to an event and you walk by something like that, we're going to get heads turned just because of the class that we're in, and hopefully that helps bring exposure to OPTIMA to help them sell batteries, because bottom line, they got a great product, and we're happy to be associated with them.
Well, it's such a cool series. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys back out on the track as soon as possible. Donnie, I really appreciate you joining us here on High Performance House Call. And Wayne, also, it was great to talk to you guys and get a look around your shop down there at Sullivan Pulling. Best of luck. You guys stay safe. When you do get back out in the dirt, hope you win another championship.
If any time you're in Kentucky, come see us. We always like,
you know that.
And you'd be surprised if people would drop by here, and if they stay very long, Donnie puts them to work doing something.
I am ready, willing, and able. All right, great talking to you guys. You guys take it easy, all right?
All right, have a good day. Thank you.